Hey guys, how you doing tonight? Hey, I just want to take this opportunity to tell you a little bit about my past in network marketing and a little bit about why I fell in love with it. Back in the mid '80s, I was actually doing some sales training for a gentleman by the name of Tom Hopkins, and we were doing seminars for a lot of the Fortune 500 companies. At that time we were doing some network marketing companies, a little bit of training that have us in because we did these seminars and we did free training and it was kind of weird because back then, mid '80s, yuppiness and everything else, you kind of looked down on them like, who are these people, whatever. But we did the training for them. Then we ended up getting involved with. I ended up becoming friends with a gentleman by the name of Hector Lamarck. And Hector was one of the top guys in a company called A.L. Williams at the time, which later became Primerica. And also about that time, I happened to be in Salt Lake City on business, and a friend of mine had invited us out to dinner to meet with a friend of his who was just getting ready to start a company, and we went and had dinner at his Chinese restaurant. And the gentleman's name was Craig Tillotson, and those that are familiar with Nu Skin probably know that name a little bit. But we had dinner with Sandy and Craig, and they told us a little bit about what they were doing with Nu Skin, and again, I kind of chuckled a little bit and said, you know what, it's not for me. Okay. So that relationship with Hector continued, and at the time we ended up getting the account for A.L. Williams. We were the first sales training company to ever get in there and do their entire training program for them. In fact, I had the opportunity to be up in Seattle and speak in front of about 10,000 of them. And then I got to know Hector and his lifestyle, and I really became sold on the industry. Okay. Then about the same time, a few years later, I ended up getting a call or seeing Craig again and find out that he and his wife were making literally millions of dollars a year in Nu Skin. So I got involved a little bit, hammered the credit card, bought a couple $1,000s worth of product, and started to build my organization. Learned from guys like Mark Yarnell and some of the guys that were doing well with that company, and I got started, and I did okay for a while, and started to build a group and everything else. But after a while, it wasn't meeting the monthly requirements, and it kind of lost the group. Okay, hey, chalk that one up to experience. One of the things I failed many times in network marketing, but I never once blamed the company. Okay, it's just the way it is. The way Nu Skin was set up. Um, there's a lot of breakaways, and you got to keep building recruiting, and I just didn't make it at that time. So I went out and got a job, and got back into the business world, and after a while, uh, I still belonged to a paper by the name of Moneymaker Monthly, and it was just a paper that was designed for network marketing companies and everything else. I answered an ad in there for a company by the name of Buddywise International. Got all the products, got great results, great company, bought a couple $1,000s worth of product, got to the manager's level, and actually recruited several people and started to do real well with that company. Actually got to the point where I think I had a couple thousand people in my downline. I did it for about 3 years full time, and it was one of the best times of my life. I had total control. I got up in the morning, I worked out. When in the afternoon, I went and played golf, and it really, really enjoyed my life. Wasn't making a fortune, but I was making enough to get by. But again, it was another breakaway type structured program where you needed to continue to do monthly volumes, and as people break away, you lose their volume, things like that. Um, After a while, you'd spend 300, $500 on your credit card to meet your monthly requirements so that you could get your check, and then you'd take that check and pay your bills. You wouldn't pay your credit cards, and after a while, I was about $16,000 in debt, and said, well, I better go out there and get back in the real world. Landed a good job, and I was making six figures, and ended up meeting someone, getting married, and having a son, and you know your time just gets kind of taken up. Between a 70 hour a week job, and a new son, and a family, and it's just something had to go. And unfortunately, I couldn't meet the requirement volumes with that one also, and let that one go. Probably one of the biggest mistakes I ever made in my life. Because it's a good company, but I was so in love with network marketing. But you've got a six-figure job, and you're making good income, and I've had that job for the last 15 years, but I've always had that passion and the love for network marketing. I've always kept abreast of what was going on, a little bit here, a little bit there, and I used the companies for tax write-offs and used a lot of their products. But it wasn't the last couple of years that I really got heavily involved in network marketing. Went out there, saw that Trump was starting up a network marketing company. Um, Looked at that, wasn't real thrilled with the products or the marketing plan. Another breakaway program. Looked at Numis a little bit. Sponsored by Dave Wood, if you know that. But it's a matrix program, decent company, and everything else, but just nothing. Really just grabbed me. I got involved and I did. Starting to do okay with it, but nothing amazing. Kind of cool company, cool concept. But then I came across 124. When I saw 124 in the videos, I knew that this was the company that was absolutely going to just revolutionize the industry. Because of the way they're set up. Because all the downfalls that I'd seen in the past, it caused me to fail. And I saw these roadblocks were taken away. It was everything I was looking for. It was one of the things that, some of the things Mark Seaforth has done is it really didn't bother me at the time. When you look back, you go, wow, okay, that makes a difference. Paying extra for replicated websites. Most companies charge anywhere from $9.95 to $19.95 on up. They're charging you extra on top of your products you're buying. And the other thing that really bothers me was, you get a lot of people in this industry that are trying to sell you videos and audio tapes, and they're actually trying to make a business off their prospects or off their people in their distributorship, other ways than the company. And that just, for some reason, it just rubbed me the wrong way, because one of the things I've really come to understand about this industry is it is about duplication, okay? But you've got to be able to stick around long enough for that duplication to take shape. Because once that takes shape and continues to go, and you're not having that attrition, that's when you're really going to be successful in this industry. And when I saw Mark Seaforth's video, I said, wow, that makes sense. It's everything that I believed. It's everything that I've lived through, been through, gone through, in the past. And it eliminated a lot of the failures or the traps that we fall into. And I got involved. I dropped everything that I was doing. I said, you know what, I'm done. I'm done with the affiliate programs for the most part. I'm done with Numis, which I was doing at the time. And I said, I'm going to focus all my attention on this. And the reason being is because it was a program that I honestly feel anyone can do. I think of Danny Johnson, if you're not familiar with her. She was a homeless mother that actually at 21 started a business out of the back of her truck and was a millionaire by the time she was 23. I could see that happening with a company like 124. I can't see that happening with some companies like Numis and some of the other companies that are out there. And I wanted that because I wanted a program that people weren't going to be at risk. I didn't want people to spend $500 to get involved. They didn't want to spend $2,000, $1,000. And guys, as much as, we realize that there's people out there, they do that. We did it. I did it. You get somebody so excited. I mean, there's some water filter companies where people buying in $5,000, $10,000, $15,000. Because once you see everything that's involved and once you really fall in love with this industry, you're going to do anything to be successful at it, okay? But Mark Yarnell had a statement that I think is one of the biggest secrets in this industry. And he said, if you don't have a program that you wouldn't put your mother in, then you're in the wrong program. And that hit home when I heard that. And I heard that interview with Dave Wood. Dave Wood did, on his blog, did a seminar with him. And I thought, well, you know what? That makes absolute sense. And when you're in that program, when you found that program that fits you like a glove, that's when all the lights and all the bells and all the whistles of this industry really take shape. Because that's what it's about, okay? 124 offers that. It's a low overhead company with a good product that shows you how you can actually, reallocate money where it's affordable for anybody. And they give you a simple program, simple plan. I was just talking to one of my distributors tonight, Todd Butler, and we were talking about it. And if people will watch the 4 videos, and that's the way we present it to people, it's almost impossible to fight. It just makes that much sense, okay? So anyway, that's a little bit of my history with network marketing. I believe 100% in network marketing. Why do I believe in it? Because I've been friends with Dan McCormick. I've been friends with Mark Yarnell. I've been friends with a lot of the top leaders that have been out there that, we're making millions of dollars a month. I've seen the guys who are making 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 grand a month. I've seen the checks. I've known them. I've seen their lifestyles. They weren't this fictitious people that you see, um, like in infomercials and stuff like that. These people are real. This is an absolutely phenomenal, phenomenal industry. And with what Mark and Joe have done with 124 guys, is they made it so it's very difficult to fail. The only way you can fail is if you quit and if you don't go out there and talk to people. Because if you go out and talk to people and just say, hey, just take a look, you're going to be successful. If you don't talk to people, you try and do everything online, it's going to be tough. There's some people that can do it, but it's going to be harder and slower. But anyway, take a look at 124 and what it's all about. This industry will change your life. It'll give you the freedom that all of us deserve. I work 60, 70 hours a week in corporate America. I've spent the last 15 years doing it. I'm done with it. I've had 2 pay cuts in the last 3 years, and the business has gone up. And so it is what it is, and that's okay. I enjoy my job. I love my job, but I've spent a lot of time. I want freedom now in my life. I want to travel when I want to travel. I want to be home with my family when things come up. I've sacrificed a lot, but this company will change your life. So join us on this journey. A lot of us are doing this right now. So take a look at the 4 videos. If you want to get involved, get involved. Okay, it'll definitely change your life. But anyway, I rambled a little bit tonight. Just wanted to go through that. But God bless you. Thank you. Check out the videos. We're excited about it. It's about midnight, whatever time it is. But take care. Thanks.